JJ, what did you think unlocked the offense and once the shots started falling and the rhythm that you guys got into? How did you see that sustain itself through the game?
I think it was just making the right play in front of us. I thought our starters really set the tone with that. And boy, like Luke Kennard just starts the blender for us. You know, we frankly have not had like a ton of like blender starters. And obviously, you know, like Luka gets 2 on the ball, AR will get 2 on the ball, LeBron will get 2 on the ball. But just to be able to create a closeout and then make the right read and right play from there, I thought our guys were incredibly unselfish tonight. You know, but it started with that starting group, and then I thought, you know, Luke was huge for our offense tonight.
And you kind of hinted at that in the pregame. You said that, you know, after the All-Star break, it hasn't quite clicked for you yet, but you felt like it was going to come. Did you feel like you saw some of that tonight?
Yeah, again, it goes back to just, you know, finding that consistent level of playing the right way on both ends, doing what we're supposed to be doing, executing at a high level. You saw those trends. You know, we haven't had it for a sustained, like, full stretch of a game, really. It's come in spurts in all 4 of our games that we played prior to this. You know, it was definitely our most complete game post All-Star break.
JJ, when you guys were shooting above 50% from behind the arc and 19 threes, was that part of the blender, so to speak, or why was it so successful tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. You know, it's just being able to just make the next pass, get to the next thing, touch the paint, pass it to the next guy. You know, we certainly made some threes. You know, LeBron made a couple ISO threes. Luka got hot to start the third quarter with some set plays, and then the ISO three, the second one in transition on the left wing. So it wasn't like all our threes were coming from that, but I just thought the ball was moving tonight.
Shot making is always going to help, but was there a consistency to the process tonight that allowed you to extend a 10-point lead to 20 to 30, whereas there's been a couple games in this stretch where you get a 10-point lead and then it...
Yeah. Again, that's the consistency of like just playing the right way was great. I thought anytime we got a little disorganized, we were able to get back to just, you know, some go-to stuff to calm the group. You know, they made that little run in the second quarter. Once we had the bigger lead, we went horns chin, you know, twice in that quarter. Smart gets the 3 because they went under on the chin screen, and then AR gets downhill on the against Horford. You know, because we set a great screen to get Smart potentially a layup. Horford has to back all the way off. So again, it was just like we did a good job. The guys did a good job. Anytime, you know, we felt a little discombobulated of just getting back to neutral.
Getting back to Luke and him being, you know, creating that blender, is that even more valuable? Obviously, his shooting is valuable, but is it even more valuable because now, you know, Luka or Austin and LeBron can be the beneficiaries of that, if that makes sense? Yeah,
I think he's got like a really good we score mentality. You know, a play can be for him, but he's going to hunt out, you know, the best shot and play for the team. And all the guys, you know, benefit from that when the ball moves. I mean, look, I had an ATO for him in the second half. He scores on it. Could have shot it off the initial screen, created the blender, eventually got it back, hits a step back 3. We run it again, and this is where I just, you know, he's a cerebral player. Pat Spencer tries to top block him, and he screens his own into Jake's guy. Smart hits Jake for a layup. You know, that's just connective offense right there, and that's just what Luke does.
JJ, earlier this year we talked a lot about reference points and different stuff like that. Just obviously you'll watch the game and you'll see it, but in real time, did it feel like this was 48 minutes of good reference points for your team and for where it's trying to go, and particularly where it's been here for the last week?
It did, and like I said before the game, these guys want to do it right. They're trying. I know our staff, myself, we're always looking for answers and solutions. That's what this is. We're trying to find solutions. and I said before the game, I'm confident we are going to find that level that we want to get to. And it's been partially just because of the disruption of lineups and different factors. We just haven't had the continuity that I thought we were going to have coming into the year, and it's taken longer than I thought, but I'm confident we're going to get there.
All right, Coach. No time you guys were behind except 2-0, so you were in command for absolutely most of the game. But at halftime, LeBron had 20, Luka had 10. Was there a concerted effort to get Luka going in the third quarter because he had 16 and LeBron was scoreless the third period?
Again, I think that's where you just play the game. The game is going to often dictate who gets the most shots, and if they're blitzing Luka, if a team is blitzing Luka, he's probably going to end up with more assists. If if they're playing single coverage in the post, he's going to get shots in the post. Same with LeBron. The game is going to dictate it, and then you just play from there. You look for an advantage and you play from there. And we ran the first play out of the timeout or out of the halftime for Luka. He bangs a three, bangs an ISO three. Then we run another one. He bangs another one. So, yeah, I mean, when the guys got it going, we tried to put a heat check in for him. We didn't execute it correctly. That's okay.
JJ, over your last 10 games, LeBron was at the worst three-point shooting percentage on the team. I think it's like 19.5%. Tonight he just missed 1 3. Was there something about him that looked extra comfortable out there, confident shooting the three ball?
Yeah, I mean, he's had successive really good shooting seasons, particularly catch and shoot, and I think that at times this year there's been a hesitation. I just thought tonight he just played and just he pulled the trigger when it was there.
Hey, JJ. Kennard's only played 6 minutes coming in together next to the big three. Just how much of him as a screener opens up the offense for those three and keeps the offense organized?
Yeah, I mean, we ran that, Finland action a few times tonight. I think the other thing that he's done well at times is he's, like Phoenix was an example of this. There was one of our other recent games, I said this before, we shouldn't be running offense with the primary defenders on our best players. So he's done a really good job of screening, getting his guy onto Luka, onto LeBron, onto Austin, and then we play from there. And again, that's an unselfish thing, but it goes back to that we score mentality.
Hey, Jake, you mentioned before the game this is just a win at all costs, kind of find any way to do it. But how did you guys find that rhythm so early, and how were you able to sustain it?
We were making a lot of shots, and obviously that helps when you see the ball going through the hoop. Defensively, I just thought both sides of the ball we were really connected tonight. We passed the ball really well. We guarded, forced them into tougher shots. Obviously, they missed some, but I just thought we did a really good job of just staying connected and like I said, winning the game.
Do you think is shooting just contagious sometimes? If you see the first couple go down as a team, does that loosen things up?
Yeah, basketball is really all about rhythm, and when you see a couple guys making shots, it kind of ripple effects down the line.
Jake, how do you think you guys handled the adversity, or the feeling of the 3-game losing streak as a group in order to get through today and kind of get on the right side of the win column?
Yeah, I mean, I think we responded exactly how we were supposed to tonight. Again, anyone that talked to me and asked me a question about, what the mindset was coming into this game was win the game. Like that's, at all costs, we have to come out and we just have to win and get back on the right track. And I think we did everything to make that happen.
Jake, Luke's been around this group for a few weeks now. What have you seen him add, and especially a night like tonight where he's kind of facilitating, doing a lot of things to help you guys win a game like this?
Great player. Obviously, I was with him in Memphis, so we've shared the court together before, but high IQ player. He plays with, a lot of pace offensively when he's off ball, when he's on ball, like whatever it is. Obviously can shoot the ball extremely well, which helps with spacing. And, some of us, we haven't been shooting the ball, very great. So him, being added to the team has been a huge help for us, and he's been contributing really well off the bench.
Jake, obviously they're banged up, but your guys' ability to kind of get to a level tonight and stay there hasn't really been a trait for your team a lot this year. Why was tonight different, and how repeatable do you think it can be, like that level of focus?
Yeah, I mean, I just think back to what I had said earlier about the contagious. I think the energy was just contagious tonight, and I think we were all just. It was good vibes. We came into this game, obviously wanting to get this win, and we came out and we played great from the start, and then the bench goes in, that bench unit, and we kept it. Sometimes one of the groups will kind of lessen the play that we're going on, but I think everyone stepped up and everyone played their role tonight.
Going back to Luke, you said you obviously know him well, but the unselfishness, JJ, that's something JJ talked about, whether it's the screening or finding guys. What can that do for everyone else? Can that be contagious in the play style when Luke's doing that?
Yeah, I mean, he's, like I said, it kind of just goes with him being a high IQ player. He knows his role. He knows how to get his open shots. He can score the ball really well, even if that's not always his role. But, yeah, I mean, everyone else sees that, obviously, and then everyone else kind of wants to get involved, and they start doing that. So I thought our movement was really good tonight.
Jake, to your left. When you guys tie a season high with 19 three-pointers and you're almost over 50% most of the night, is that ball movement? Is that a matter of shots going down? What is that?
Yeah, ball movement for sure, shot selection, and we were just really playing team basketball tonight. It was really good.
I think this is your highest scoring game since joining the team a few weeks ago. Just what about how those looks came that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I think first defensively we got getting stops and transition. I think when we push the ball and we kind of control the pace, I think we can get a lot of great looks. I mean, obviously we have some guys that draw a lot of attention, and for me it's just being ready to shoot. And I thought we did a good job sharing the ball tonight and got some really good looks.
Obviously, you mentioned there are a lot of guys who draw attention between Luka, LeBron, Austin, but JJ praised you for how you're able to create the blender. What kind of mindset do you have when it comes to whether it's the driving kicks, the relocations, the screening? What kind of mindset do you have, within those plays?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I want to make the right play every time I get the ball. I want to space, be in the right spots, and I think when we are a team that just obviously I've been here for a short amount of time, but when we are a team that gets in the paint and we share the ball, we have multiple passes on a possession. I feel like we're a different team, and we get a lot of great looks, and we can put up a lot of points. I mean, obviously, we need the ball to be in those guys' hands to make plays for us, and that's how it's got to be. But like for us, guys coming off the bench, we need to be ready to play the right way, get the ball moving, and just, like I said, play with some pace, and I thought we did a good job of that.
So how do you guys planning to celebrate Luka's birthday tonight, and especially after snapping the losing streak tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think just that. I think we celebrated with a win. It's always good when you win. It feels good. Listening to music, just hanging out with the guys in the locker room. It's always good vibes when you get a win. So, winning is a good present. So I think we did that for him tonight, and obviously he led the way for us.
Apologies if this has already been asked, but JJ was talking about you as a blender and a guy that can do a lot of things for the team. Mm-hmm. How do you view that role, and how has that been communicated to you from the coaching staff?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I mean, I think, it kind of gives confidence in me, not just being like a spot-up shooter, which, a lot of people think. And, there's been stops, I think, where that's kind of what I've been. And, I'll find my role and try to be the best I can with that. But, I think just creating, havoc offensively, just getting in the paint. I think, I said when we get in the paint and we have multiple passes on a possession, we're such a different team. And I think for me, I can kind of initiate some of that, if two guys are on like Luka or Bron or Austin and I get a swing pass. If I don't have a shot, I can get in the paint and try to make a play. And, I pride myself in that, trying to make the right play every single time. And, I've been having a good time with it.
Obviously, the Warriors' player availability is what it is, but you guys took the lead and maintained it in a way that you guys just did not in the losses to Orlando or Phoenix. Yeah. What was the difference tonight in that regard, and what can you take from tonight that can carry over, whether it's tomorrow versus Sacramento or the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, you mentioned it, last couple of games we've had the lead, and when teams go on runs, we can't kind of find a way to control it a little bit. And I think tonight, they went on a run there in the second quarter to cut the lead a little bit, but I thought our starters did a good job coming out in the second half of getting us going, setting the tone, even at the start of the game. And, for us, we see what they do, and we kind of just flow into the game with how they set the tone.
Hey, Luke, you played 6 minutes total together with the big three coming in to tonight. How does your ability as a screener kind of open stuff up for all three of them?
Yeah, no, being a good screener, it's something that you don't really talk about much. You don't kind of see the impact of what that can be. But JJ has put me in positions to be a screener, and I think just the gravity that I have as being one of the top shooters in the league. Teams don't want to leave me. So being a screener, getting guys open, it gets me shots if I set good screens. So. I appreciate the question. That's a good question, good eye. But I take pride in being a good screener, and coming up into the league, being a shooter. I watched a lot of guys. You look at like guys like Steph. He's one of the best screening guards. It's how he gets open all the time, gets his teammates open, and I watched that when growing up a little bit. So I definitely take pride in that.
Jake, LeBron, he was the group mentality. So we just got to get a win. What do you think you accomplished as a group today?
You just said it. Just needed to get a win, get the shit back on the right front, and I think we did that tonight.
What about the approach early? It was getting off with the right foot and able to allow you to sustain it all night.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had like a 48-minute game where we was able to sustain the effort, and at the start we just came in with the right mindset. Obviously, the last two at home, and then the Phoenix game was a tough one. So. We just came in with the right mindset and understanding the assignment. We took care of business.
How much of that mindset do you think was selflessness tonight?
The hell? Sorry. That should be the mentality every night. Obviously, we want to get everybody involved. We want to have the ball moving, the ball popping, but I thought defensively was connected as well, and that definitely contributed to our offense, and that helped a lot.
JJ had high praise for Luke. I think this was his highest scoring game since he joined the team. What kind of impact has he had on the group since you guys got him a few weeks ago?
It gives us another scoring threat. His ability to make plays, get into the paint, because he shoots the ball so well. A lot of teams like to run him off the line, but his ability to get into the lane and make plays for others as well has been a big part of our. A big part of what we want to do too, just making that extra pass, those kick-out plays, and those extra ones. He's damn good at it.
LeBron, over the last 10 games, you've been shooting 19.5% from three. Had a pretty good night shooting from beyond the arc today. What do you think went into that, and how's your comfort level there right now?
I'm comfortable in every shot I take. I can shoot 0.0% from the three-point line. I believe I'll make the next one. I've been playing ball my whole life, so not much of a numbers guy, to be honest.
You guys did make 19 three-pointers. What did you like about the ball? Was it the ball movement? What did you like about that?
It's easy to say. Shit, when the ball moving, the ball goes in, it's the easiest thing to say, oh, well, you guys are moving the ball because to see the assist total. Listen, at the end of the day, I just think our minds was right. The numbers will speak for itself. You can talk about the numbers, but I just think mentally we knew what we was against. We knew how we lost these last three games, and it just sit well with us, obviously. And we just came out and we executed.
You had the pregame moment with your daughter where she was mimicking your dribbling routine. What was that moment like for you, and then be able to play in front of her and have a good win like this?
I said post-game, I missed a lot of moments, spending time with my kids because of my career. And, anytime I get over the course of my career, anytime I got moments with them, either individually, two of them, three of them all together, whatever the case may be, it's always special for me. So to have my daughter want to come on the road and be with me, and spent a lot of time yesterday. We went to Alcatraz. She wanted to go to Alcatraz. We seen Alcatraz. She saw the Golden Gate Bridge. We went to dinner last night. Spent a lot of time. It was pretty cool. It was awesome.
We've known her as a volleyball player. I saw some handles out there.
She was a volleyball player. Don't get my wife mad. My wife is done with this basketball. She's done with it. She's a volleyball player, but she's been around the game for a while, so she do got a good handle. She got a good form too. But My wife ain't playing that. Not another one. She said, "That's it. That's it."
But you walked off the court.
Last question.
You walked off the court holding her hand.
I'll give you one more.
As a girl dad, can you describe that?
It's special. It's special. It's definitely softened me up over the last 11 years. You know, I had 2 boys to begin with, but getting that little girl 11 years ago, man, it's definitely softened me up. So it's special to have her. You know, it's a different type of love. If anybody got girls and boys, it's a different type of love it's like tough love when it comes to my boys. You know, I yell at them and stuff, whatever. They take it. They know how to approach it. It's different. It's a little softness with my daughter, so it's pretty cool.
Had she been able to go on a trip like this?
No, first one. She's a good luck charm. First one. First road trip in my career that she's been on besides like All-Star Weekend and stuff like that. But
Call her out of school on Thursday when you guys go to Denver.
Don't say that too loud because she definitely be like, "Dad, can I go to Denver?" She already said when is the next road trip? Like,
You know, we spoke after the Phoenix game, obviously, and it kind of peak frustration. And everybody hates losing, but you certainly stand out there. What is it like to just clear that? You know, to come out playing well and get over that emotion at least for the day.
Winning's fun. Winning cures a lot of issues. So anytime you can get a win is good.
What led to the rhythm and the ball movement, the way you guys are able to use each other collectively on offense tonight?
I just think playing the right way. When we do it out the gate, I think it sets a tone for the rest of the game, and just getting good looks. You know, we have too many weapons offensively to not get good looks. Obviously, there's going to be times where, you know, Luka gets on a heater, Brown gets on a heater, and, you know, they're tough shot makers. So, you know, you obviously live with those, and you believe that every time they shoot the ball, it's going in. But once you set a rhythm early of getting good looks, I think we could, do special things.
There was a point where I think you guys were like 55% from behind the arc. Is that a byproduct of passing, or is it a good day?
Like Bron said, you know, when you make shots, you say everybody's going to go, the ball movement's great because of the assist numbers. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a sense of, like, rhythm and feel and comfort. You know, once you see, some shots going in from everybody's, the feel's different. So we need to continue to, share the ball.
Was the mindset shift that LeBron talked about, JJ talked about through Jake, was that like a spoken thing that you guys discussed in meetings, or was it just kind of a more of a collective understanding that, like, we need to play better and we need to play this specific way?
What'd they say?
They said, like LeBron said, he thought shots in or out, whatever, like the mindset was better. You just kind of said, like, we played the right way, shots in or out. Did anything trigger that? Or did it just...
I don't know. Losing sucks, so you don't want to lose. I think the best way to combat losing is playing the game the right way. I'm like...
He said he didn't get him anything.
No.
He said you didn't get him anything for his birthday.
I actually got you a present, you freaking idiot. Sorry. Yeah, that's huge. Any more questions? Good. See ya.
That's great.